Hey, good morning, Charlie with Born to Retire. It is an absolutely frigid morning here in the Midwest, but my mind's not at all on. I think we got down to -1 last night, but I'm thinking about warmer things. I'm thinking about camping. I'm thinking about traveling. I'm thinking about taking a trip on the Dempster Highway. And I got yesterday from Amazon another piece of gear that I'm going to consider bringing with me on that trip. Let's take a look. Go inside, get warm. My God, it's cold out here. Woo!
Never really know what's going on. Look at me sometimes like all you want to do is run. Hear me out.
Okay, good morning. Good morning. It is a lot warmer in here. I had a cup of coffee I need to make real fast here. Hold on just a second. Trying to get a cup of coffee to be warmed up here for me when I got back in from outside. It shows on my thermometer over there, my little lacrosse weather, that it's 8 degrees outside, but my phone shows that it's 1 degree outside. I think we got down to -1 last night. So I shared another video that my wife and I are planning a trip, one of those bucket list trips that people plan. And we're hoping to travel from where we live in the Midwest all the way up into Canada on the Dempster Highway, all the way up to the Arctic Ocean. That's a bucket list trip that we are planning to do. And in doing that, I am picking out, so I've got a lot of camping gear from over the years, and I know a lot of it's outdated and it's old. It's like old Coleman stuff. And for this trip, we plan to do some camping on the way up there. So I'm trying to look at some of the newest gear, we'll call it outdoor gear, that's available. And for a long time, I've thought about one of these, this a rocket stove. And I did a lot of research, looked at a lot of reviews, and I have a predisposition for Petromax gear, and they do make a rocket stove like this, but it costs about 3 times the amount this one does. Let me grab that coffee. Give me just a second. Oh, I got a little cream. Get it with a little cream. You can't see it, but I'm pouring cream in my cup. Let me get back over there. All right, I have my wonderful Las Vegas mug today. So Las Vegas mug on a cold day in the Midwest. So I did a lot of research. In a rocket stove, you can use Coleman stoves, right? The old white gas stoves. You can use butane. You use a lot of different things as a source of heating up things when you're camping. I've seen the butane ones, and I may get one of those next, where it's like the butane canister, and you pop it in and try that. I've researched the sterno ones that people try. Not impressed with those. It doesn't seem like the heat, if you heat up a pot of water, the cost to do that with sterno seems higher than it does with butane or even white gas for sure. But I wanted to look at this. Oh, my dogs are going crazy over there. So I ordered this, got it from Amazon yesterday, and I'm just going to do an unboxing here. But I intend to do, when it gets a little bit warmer, I'm going to try this thing out. So if you don't know, these rocket stoves, they are designed to just burn on wood, or you can do charcoal, but anything that you can shove into this thing, and you'll see in a minute what I'm talking about, that it will actually get so hot it'll just create like a jet, almost like a jet fire shooting up at the pot that you'll be cooking something in. So I'm just going to do an unboxing here, and my initial thoughts on quality. I'm big on quality. I'm not going to go buy a bunch of Walmart gear, is what I'm saying. So I want to buy something that I feel is quality, because I'm just kind of a geek that way. I'm enamored by things that are higher quality. So let's take a look at this GasOne, just an unboxing of this, and see what we get, or see what they give you here. What do you get when you experience getting a GasOne rocket stove? So I figure I'm going to be doing a lot of different gear reviews like this. I did one on a fire maple butane lantern that doesn't take a mantle. It's just shooting right up from a butane canister that you put in. I've got also a fire maple skillet, or a stove. I've got that over there. I won't show it right now. It's a grill pan, but it kind of intrigued me that the shape of it and the design of it is something that's very interesting. But let's take a look at this gas stove from GasOne. And I saw a review that made me order this one, which is kind of tough to get out of there right off the bat. Nice little styrofoam there. So this is just an initial opening and an unboxing here. So when you get it opens, you get this. This is cast iron on top. Let me move Las Vegas there. So it's cast iron on top. And that looks like this may have been used before. So that's interesting to me right off the bat. So let's see if we pull this out of here. Pretty heavy right off the bat. There we go. Put it down there. Pull those off. And it's got dirt on it. This thing looks like it may have been used before and then returned, which is very interesting to me. Let's pull that out. And that's all you get in the box. Some protective styrofoam. Then you get the grill, or this is like the feeder tray to stick stuff into this thing. This is a lot smaller than I thought it would be. I thought it would be like a 5-gallon bucket. There's some directions in there. Like any mail, I don't need directions. I'll figure it out on my own. So what do we have? I don't know if you can tell there. It's all scuffed. So I mean, it's not affecting it anyway, but I'm a little interested. It looks like it may have been returned or just got dirty in the production and the packaging of it. So you can see the small area for the chimney for things to come out of, and at the bottom's a grill. And as you look around this thing, it says GasOne on top. I think that's green. I'm colorblind, but I think it's green. And I'm wondering how that's going to hold up to heat. It's if you know anything about rocket stoves, I started to make one many years ago, and you can dig a hole in the ground and put bricks around it and do the same thing. But these things came out, and I've been so far removed from new technology or new things that are coming out for camping. I never researched these until just recently. So the idea is that there's a heavy insulation all around that chimney coming up. So what that does is it gets so hot in there, it gasifies everything. So there's really no smoke. It's just flame that shoots out the top of this thing. And I'll do videos on that some other day. This is just an initial opening and kind of my reactions to it as I open it, right? So the handles feel pretty sturdy. That's cast iron on top. So on top here is where you would have your infeed, and you'd put this up against it, and that's where you'd slide in wood into this thing, or sticks, twigs, whatever, to heat this thing up. It's really that simple. Now, that's really thick. If you see there, this is all insulation, that thick. That looks like that's 2 inches of insulation. So the outside will probably maybe a little warm, I'm guessing. But the idea is that all that heat's going to be in this channel of this thing, and it's just going to shoot out like a rocket and heat up whatever it is you want to cook on a skillet, cast iron skillet, Dutch oven, whatever. Let's take a look at the bottom of this thing. Yep, what you would expect. Down here is you'd empty out the ashes as they fall through that tray, and that's where you'd scrape them out. So you probably just dump them out, I'm guessing. So that's pretty straightforward. The quality's pretty good. It feels pretty solidly built, which I'm all about that. Let's see how that locks back down. That's interesting. That doesn't go down very easily. Oh, yeah. Okay, so that locks back in place, and when you're done, you'd lock that back in place. You got to really push it in there to get that locked in, but then you're locked in, and then you'd store it. So quality appears pretty good. You can tell it's got a lot of insulation in it, and I'm really eager to get this out and try it out and see how quickly it heats up a pot of water. I'm not going to do that today. It says 8 degrees over there, but I think it's more like 0. I'm not going to go out and do that today. But my initial reaction, it's smaller than I thought it was going to be. I would have initial concerns if I put a skillet on top of here, making sure you have it centered so it doesn't tip over and fall out. So I got to think about that, and I don't know how I'm going to react to that. So I'm going to try these out. If I don't like the things, I'm just going to return it to Amazon. But this may be of what happened to this one because it looked a little scuffed and dirty. But I will try it. It is cleanly inside. It doesn't look like there was a fire at all in here. I don't see the evidence of that. But the idea is, again, you infeed this way, and if you look at other videos, and I'll show it when I actually try this, it'll just shoot a rocket right out of there. It looks like the back of an F-16 that comes out of the tailpipe or the back end of an F-16. It just shoots up and heats up whatever pot you have on there. And then the ashes would fall down to there. You clean them out, and that's all there is to it. Don't have to buy butane. You don't have to buy white gas. You could use charcoal if you wanted. You could use sticks, wood, whatever you got, scrap wood you could find. If you're camping, just go out and find some wood sitting around and gather it up. Sticks, twigs, branches, break them up, and you've got your fuel to make your dinner with. That's the idea. It's a little heavy. I'm going to say that's, I don't know, 3 pounds. So it's a little heavier. It's about like a Coleman stove, maybe in that ballpark. And it's definitely heavier than like I've got a jet boil. That's a lot lighter than this, but that's built for like backpacking, and I'm not backpacking anymore. I'm just camping. But I'm intrigued by the idea of having something like this that really can run on any kind of fuel you can find at all, other than, you're not going to put kerosene or white gas or butane in this, but really it's meant to run off wood. And that really intrigues me. I've got plenty of wood around here to do that with too. So initial impressions of it, I like the quality of it. Again, this one feels like it might have been returned just from the looks and the scuffing. I don't really know that it was, but that's not going to hold me back from testing it. If I like it and can think about adding it to my gear list for the trip down up the Dempster Highway. Doesn't take up a lot of real estate. It's pretty small. I'm not sure the best way to store this after you get it going. Do you keep it in the original box and just carry that with you? And that's probably the most logical way to do it, because I worry about, how are you going to do that? Where's that going to fit in this whole mess is the one thing I'm also thinking about. So that's that. That's the unpackaging or the unboxing of this. The next one I'm going to do is, and hopefully it'll be a little bit warmer. I'll show you real quick here. I'm hoping to actually test this. So this came with the same shipment. This is the Fire Maple portable grill pan. And what really intrigued me about it was that it's printed. It's tool and die stuff, right? So they impacted the ceramic metal or whatever they have. The material is here. So these are indentations between, and so you'll get like grill marks of that if you put something on there and heat it up. And then this is a trough that goes around it, so the grease should run off of this. And then this little hole here, which has a screw, which I'm going to be really interested to see how it works. That there's a channel that the grease drains out of down a little funnel that you could put into a cup or whatever, so the grease doesn't stay up here with the food that you're cooking. Now, I am really concerned. Like I said, this one may not be such a big deal, but the balance on this, I don't want anything that's going to tip over very easily. That would be catastrophic, right? Not make me very happy. This one, I think it'll be okay as long as you put it on there correctly. We'll see. We'll see how it works. I see people, they have huge things on there, like a whole flat grill tops. And I think, how do you do that and keep that balanced? How do you keep that balanced so it doesn't fall off there and hurt yourself or hurt somebody else? So that'll be coming up. That'll be another one that I'll do. It's got to get a little warmer, but anyway, that's the second piece of gear that I'm reviewing. I don't know if you can see me there on the camera. This is the second piece of gear that I'm reviewing. This will be the third. And so far, I've done the Fire Maple, that butane lantern I talked about. I'll show you that real fast. Nope. Poor dog. So I reviewed this last week. This is so small, I'm just going to throw it in there. It's not a light that you'd use for serious lighting like you would a Coleman lantern or a flashlight. But for the ambiance, it's so small, I'm going to bring that with me. That did make the trip. And this remains to be seen whether this will make the trip up the Dempster Highway later in 2025. I hope you enjoyed this. And if you've got any experience with a rocket stove, let me know what you think in the comments. I really appreciate it. I like to learn from others, the good, bad, and ugly of what they find with the gear they have. So please share your thoughts and wait for, hopefully it gets warmer here later in the week, and I'll be able to actually demonstrate this outside without freezing myself like an ice cube. Thanks a lot and have a great day.